So, um, yeah, I would say those insights are really what led us to launch two main projects coming out of our innovation group. And one of those was an embedded Linux operating system. It was meant to be lean, secure, easy to use. And the other was a project that at the time we called continuous delivery. And just as we had realized the need for ourselves at Toradex to embrace DevOps, that we needed a way to deal with the rising complexity, the broad needs of our customers. We need to be able to iterate quickly, deliver updates to our software in a more rapid fashion. We saw the same need for our customers to have this need as well, that they could keep their software releasable, be able to respond quickly to changes or bugs or issues in the field, and be able to deliver quickly. And so, what we believe is that the more continuous and unimpeded this cycle becomes, the more performant we or you can be in your business. Allow me to formally introduce continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is a concept of being able to continuously release small increments, small steps in your software, being able to keep software releasable, most importantly, so that when there's a need to fix something or deliver new functionality into the field, there's a way to do so. And it's also about having automation, because if we were going to do this on a rapid basis, we need it to be efficient, and automation is a way to do that. It's a way to speed up the process of integrating, testing, delivering software. And also importantly, it's a way to get fast feedback to our developers. By delivering on a frequent basis, we're also testing frequently, and if we're delivering that software into the field, we're also able to get feedback from users, which allows us to continuously improve software. So the principles of lean, agile, and DevOps all are also applicable to continuous delivery. And in fact, you'll see the first principle of the Agile Manifesto goes like this: our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. So this early and continuous delivery of valuable software is really the key to success. I see way too many companies out there who are essentially developing. I mean, they're in one of two states. They're either just developing their product or it's in production. And I hope that doesn't offend anybody to say this, but it just drives me crazy, because we're living in a world that's much more complex. This is not really a realistic expectation. And so if we take a look at, I'm not the only one who believes this. It turns out the Forrester Consulting they had a thought leadership paper, and what they found is 95% of respondents they surveyed said that their firms experience delays because of their product development challenges, and one of the key reasons why is because traditional embedded practices are insufficient when building smarter digital products. And one of the key things really that came out of this is they identified lack of iteration as one of the main issues with these traditional embedded development practices. And so instead of seeing development as this kind of two-stage process of develop and then go to production, we should really see it more as an iterative, continuous process. So for sure, early in your development, you're going to be heavily developing, but it's a good idea to already be delivering working versions of a system. Right? That enables you to get fast feedback to developers. They can already begin improving on the system. And as we make our way towards production, we're releasing more and more to a wider audience, getting broader feedback. And by the time we get the volume production, we're still developing. We're still developing updates to the product. And the very best companies out there, the ones that are most innovative and successful, are always simultaneously and continuously developing and delivering. They're always experimenting, releasing new ideas into the market, getting feedback, and adapting. So maybe I'll shock you a little bit here. And this is an acronym you'll hear in the sales world quite frequently. Maybe if there's some sales folks out there, you'll know what I mean. ABC. Maybe somebody knows this one. Always be closing, right? There's a reason why this is said, right? That there's like this natural tendency to wait till the end of the quarter, the end of the year, to hit those targets. And there are some reasons why waiting to the end is not such a good idea. For one, it's hard on the organization to try to close a bunch of deals all at once. But if you wait, you might actually lose the opportunity to win those deals, right? And so there's this concept of always be closing. But naturally, I think I think about the same ideas in product development. And so I suggest ABD. Always be delivering. And the reasons why is, why wait till there's a disaster to cobble together a release? At that point, it's too late. So the best companies, the innovators, the disruptors, that's what they're doing. They're always delivering. And data from the State of DevOps report indicates that the companies that do continuous delivery, they have 44% more time spent on new features. They have 21% less time spent on unplanned work and rework, 50% higher market cap growth over 3 years, 8,000 faster deployment lead time. That means from the time that they have something that they want to deliver to the time that they actually deliver it is extremely fast. 50% less time spent fixing security defects, and a 50% lower change failure rate. So look at this. The companies who are delivering much faster are also the ones who have lower change failure rates and fewer security vulnerabilities. And so continuous delivery is really a form of risk mitigation. As I mentioned, we see it as a way to deal with the risks of connectivity, broader security threats, compounding complexity, because being able to adapt quickly is what allows us to address risk like those. So delivering quickly and often is a way for us to get fast feedback. You can see that illustrated here on the left side. Of course, when we're actually building the product and testing it, we're getting quick feedback. You can do that without ever really having to put it into the field. But of course, when you've released it, you're also getting really valuable feedback from users of the product. It's this kind of virtuous cycle in some way, right? If you're able to get fast feedback, you're able to improve the product, keep it high quality, which allows you to release. Being able to release means you can release quickly, which means you can get feedback more rapidly. So it's really a bit of a flywheel effect. And the biggest, I think, mistake some companies make is they try to slow the cycle down. Really impedes the ability to learn, adapt, and improve the quality of the product, which in turn makes it more difficult to release. So for these reasons, companies performing continuous delivery can deliver on demand. They can do it with very low lead times and with very low change failure rates. And this is why research shows that the very best companies, they can maximize both speed and quality. Which is why Toradex practices continuous delivery. We've invested significantly into automation. We version control everything, not just the software, but the integration environment, the test environment, the CI/CD pipelines, also all the tests that we're running, the infrastructure. That means that we're always getting fast feedback. When there's a failure that's discovered, we have all the traceability we need to find out why there's failure. And these improvements have really driven down our effort and time to be able to release, which has made us much more scalable. It means that we can support more products, more software, support our customers in a wider range of applications. And you'll see here that Toradex, we actually, even though we only deliver production grade software releases for our Linux BSP, Torizon Core on a quarterly basis, we're actually releasing working versions of the software every single day in the form of nightlies. So this is software that's made available to everyone. They're public. It's a way to see the very latest software that Toradex is working on. It's also a way for us to test and get feedback on a very rapid cadence. And so I want to also show you a little bit of what that looks like in Toradex. This is some of the test automation infrastructure that we have. There are 48 devices in this rack. Every single day, at a minimum, we're building 110 different Linux images. That's a combination of Linux BSP reference images, Torizon Core, Toradex Easy Installer in many different configurations. And we're deploying them across 48 devices to get real hardware in the loop test feedback. And so that's 286 different combinations of hardware and embedded Linux images, each of which we're running up to 77 different tests every day, which is thousands of tests. Every day they're giving us fast feedback and making sure that our software remains high quality. So, and that's not even counting all the other non-hardware in the loop testing we do. A lot of pure software testing, a lot of testing of pure hardware validation, the production testing we do. We've invested substantially into automation to make this possible. Another thing I want to point out is the graphic down here where this is just the last 5 days of testing on only our Linux BSP reference images. 35,000 tests. You can see they're mostly green, but there is 2 little slivers you'll see here, and one of those are the failures. And failures are important to catch. We celebrate the fact that we generate some failures because, you know, there's a saying that goes something like, success comes from learning, and learning comes from failure. And this is our way to have a safe environment to fail. It's what allows us to innovate, to experiment, and also prevent failure from leaking into production. So this is just such an important capability to us at Toradex, and it's something we also want to make sure is exposed to everyone. So, yeah, I want to, I mean, there's many people who just believe that high quality means going slow, you know, cautiously testing. But I want to make the case that continuous delivery is actually superior to traditional methods for those of you in these highly regulated environments. Right? You have to go through a lot of regulatory compliance. Usually that's a slow process. But research from DORA, which is the DevOps Research and Assessment, showed that regulatory sign-offs and approvals actually don't improve the change failure rate of these devices. And in fact, they just slow down our ability to deliver new software into the field. And in continuous delivery, we can actually put this kind of regulatory acceptance stuff into the pipeline. The tests, the documentation, the other activities can be automated. That's going to allow us to continuously test that our products are still compliant. We can make changes that are smaller because we're automating and therefore we're delivering smaller changes. Smaller changes have lower risk of failure, and testing occurs more frequently. This actually really improves traceability. And traceability is great for auditability. So I want to make the case that delivery pipelines are actually a powerful regulatory compliance tool, which can be referred to as continuous compliance. And that's great news because what we're beginning to see now are also the emergence of IoT regulations. This is connected devices are increasingly needing to be updated by law. And so having traceability, having the built-in way to continuously deliver software that's also documented is positive. And let me also share how Toradex can help. So Torizon is a platform that is intended to facilitate secure, full-stack, continuous delivery to edge devices. And we make that possible with frequent releases from Toradex that you can build on. As you've seen, we do an extensive amount of full-stack verification of the software. We also have the ability not only to deliver the software, but to monitor it in the field and give you fast feedback. And this is critical to being able to continuously deliver. We also provide the tooling that allows customization on top of this software and also being able to build containerized applications you can deploy directly on Torizon Core, which all this tooling is designed to be part of a continuous delivery workflow that you can integrate into CI/CD pipelines. So I'll just also give you a little insight into the stack. You're going to hear a lot more about it today. But Torizon includes a lean, secure, embedded Linux operating system we call Torizon Core. It supports containers. That allows you to deploy applications decoupled from the operating system, manage them more independently from each other. Also has a secure update framework we use called Uptane, which comes from the automotive space. Many automotive OEMs who have been involved and helped developing that. And we've got Justin here today who will also give us a little more insights into Uptane. Torizon Core includes support for our hardware, so it's more than just the operating system. It goes down to the bootloader, the firmwares, device drivers that are needed for running on top of Toradex devices. And Torizon Core it's open source, so you can really take it, customize it yourself. It's built with the Octo project, so if you're already familiar with the Octo project, you can do a lot, but it's also built so that you don't have to do that. You don't have to know the Octo project. You can do customizations of Torizon Core with our tooling in a way that we've tried to make easy, and also a way that works well with continuous delivery. Toradex, in addition to the Toradex, there's the Torizon Core Builder, helping you customize Torizon Core. There's also our IDE extension that allows you to develop containerized applications, debug them on the hardware, and deliver them into Torizon.io. And then there's also our cloud services at Torizon.io, over-the-air updates as well as offline updates, remote access capabilities, device and fleet management and monitoring, all of which allow you to achieve the complete continuous delivery cycle. So Torizon is really meant to help our customers be best in class and provide these capabilities of continuous delivery, of delivering early and often, securely with fast feedback. So day one is the vision. And the idea is that from day one of using Torizon, that you can begin delivering working software to devices. And I don't mean just like you can try out the OTA update service and confirm it delivers updates. I mean, from day one, you can begin delivering some kind of meaningful functionality to devices and continue delivering increments of improved software every day thereafter. And so I also want to say that simply using Torizon is not enough. it's also a methodology and mindset change. So while you're here today, I would like you to listen, learn, challenge your thinking, challenge how your organization operates today. And this is sort of what I want to avoid. I see a lot of developers or teams who manage to optimize their one silo in the value stream. But as most of us probably know, it's the issue is not necessarily here. Oftentimes it's in these transitions between silos. And so really we need to be thinking about how can we optimize the complete flow through the organization. And Torizon can facilitate. Finally, while we're here, I just want us to, I ask that you challenge each other, that you challenge Toradex. We'd love to hear more about, the specific challenges you have, the opportunities that you see, because none of us should be settling for that's just how it is.